Let's talk about how to refocus after a disruption. Hi, my name is Angelika and I'm a leadership coach helping you be the leader you know you can be. There is no shortage of disruptions if you're a leader. People popping in and out of your office, asking you for a minute of your time, an extra request from a senior executive to just add a couple numbers to tomorrow's presentation for their super high stakes important meeting, a client escalating and you have to attend an emergency meeting and resolve the situation. No matter how cleverly you plan your day or your week and how solidly you uphold your boundaries, there will be disruptions to what is happening during your day. You're working among a group of people with other people and groups of people, so there will be naturally some kind of disruption to your day. And I'm not talking about, in today's video with the 3 tips, I'm not talking about those minor distractions where someone pops in and it's a factual thing and then you just get back to what you were originally intending. What I want to talk to you about is those major disruptions that leave you like in your spinning loop of, oh my goodness, how am I going to do that? I'm really angry with that client or that person who couldn't they have done that before? Couldn't they have said something before? And where you're also emotionally involved, either because your own personal timeline slips or because of the mess that somebody created and that you need to step in to resolve that. So here's the 3 tips how to refocus after a major disruption. First, get closure. And what I mean by that is if you're in this excited affair or you've just stepped out of that client escalation meeting, your mind is spinning with the topic that you've just attended to. And unless you find some kind of closure, your subconscious will keep spinning around that unresolved topic. Very likely, you will have some kind of action after a disruption. Either you need to send a mail, you need to inform someone, you've committed to do some kind of action, you may have to task one of your team members, you need to have a conversation with them. So do that next step, the one that you committed to, or at the very least, spend 1 or 2 minutes to capture your thoughts and notes so that you can actually find an interim closure while somebody else is attending to whatever next steps were decided. If you don't do this, at least capture your own thoughts as a kind of jumping off point for the next time. As I said, your unconscious thoughts will keep spinning around that unresolved situation. It's called a Zeigarnik effect. You can Google that. And it will take away from your focus and from your brain capacity, which we want to have fully back with you so that you can actually focus on how to get your timeline back on track. Find some way of getting closure so that at least for now, you know, all right, everything that you need to take care of is initiated or taken care of, and the things that are spinning around in your mind, that they are captured. Then next step, regroup, reassess. Now that you had to step out, now that you potentially have to spend another half day, 2 hours, 2 days on this extra situation, whether it's a client escalation or the senior executive who asked you to put together just a couple numbers for tomorrow's super urgent meeting, which they might have been able to plan ahead and tell you maybe a week ago, you will not be able to go back to simply continue with whatever you were doing before that disruption occurred. So you need to have some kind of method, some kind of personal process to reassess, right, new situation, blank slate, what's on my plate? You have this new thing, this new escalation situation, etc., the disruption that you need to attend to, but what else is on your plate? The best next step is to get an overview and refamiliarize yourself with all the things that are on your priority list. It's called overview for a reason. So do something visual, whether that is shuffling through your Trello board or your team's task board, or whether you put out a couple post-its, or whether you rewrite your whiteboard, reshuffle your project plan, whatever helps you see all the big chunks, all the big topics, the big projects, the big priorities that are in your area, and help you see all of them at a glance, which means that you're not listing all the 1,500 items on the backlog list or all the single tasks that your team is working on. We're talking about the big chunks, the big priorities, the big projects or goals. The key thing is that you see those 3, 5, 17 areas at a glance and add this new disruptive situation, and that allows you to put into context what is your next overall priority. Where do you need to reshuffle what your team is working on? Where do you need to reschedule your own calendar? Which of the things that would have been prior one unless this disruption had occurred, which are now toppling to the back of your to the back end of your to-do list because something from that disruption gives you a totally new focus. So get yourself an overview, like a real overview, in whichever tool that you love to work with that helps you see at a glance what's on your plate, and then determine your next priority. Tip number 3, honor your process. If you're emotionally and mentally entangled in a situation, there is no way of saving time by ignoring if you're upset or angry or disturbed by learning about a team member's illness or their personal situation where they've asked you for advice or assistance. Most of the high achievers I work with have a really hard time to, in this very moment, to then say, no, I'm not trying to push through because so much time has already slipped and I'm losing the timeline. I'm not achieving my goals. So I have this urge to push on, but instead to take this moment to honor the process that they need in order to make sense of the new situation. And this is highly individual. You may need to go for a walk or take a breath of fresh air for 2 minutes. Or you may need to take a break and go out, grab a coffee, or put some physical distance between where this disruption occurred and go somewhere else and return maybe 2 minutes later. Maybe go for a walk for 30 minutes if that is what you need in order to help get to a clear mind again and to reassess the situation. But honor your process. If you need to talk to someone like a confidant, a colleague, a peer, in order to make sense of the situation or to strategize about the client escalation, whatever you need, like you as a person, as an individual, honor that process and don't try to shortcut it by saying to yourself, oh, I can't do that. I've already missed 2 hours of my precious time. I can't go for a walk now, even though everything inside you screams for, I need some distance, I need some fresh air. So if you don't physically have those 30 minutes now, because you're in the middle of your day and you've got meetings scheduled, then try and chunk this out. Either go for a 5-minute walk and at least catch a breath of fresh air, or do yourself a favor and schedule that 30-minute walk for as quickly as you can, maybe after the next meeting, because that creates a promise to yourself, and it also helps your brain to say, all right, I don't need to scream like walk, 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 walk. I need this walk because I know I'm going to get it after this meeting. do yourself that favor and honor your process. If you need to journal, if you need to talk to someone, if you need to go for a walk, those are the typical things that we feel urged to do, and the high achievers among us try to negotiate ourselves out of it because it takes too much time. Why would I do that? What's the benefit? I just need to move on. There is no shortcut to cutting out your thoughts that need processing, and there is no shortcut to your emotions that are upset and need to be processed and felt as well. So do yourself a favor, honor your process, and you will find your focus again, even after an emotional disruption, even after something that totally distorted your agenda for the day or the week, and you can find your focus again. Good luck with that and happy leading. See you soon. Bye.